earlier, but I guess no. I think you're right.
Well, I might be wrong because I was a little out of it. But
No, I think this is the first time we're seeing it. I was thinking back to my game earlier today. I actually got proxy gatewayed over here.
Wow.
It's, really irritating.
Serious builds, bro.
Yeah. Worst part is like because you know me, I don't play on like a separate account. They're like, oh, I'm playing against RootCats. I'm gonna cheese them.
Yep.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the WCS America Qualifiers. It's the semifinals. One of these two will move on to the qualifying round. Spawning in the top right corner of the map, it's going to be none other than the the yellow Zerg player, RootCats.
And in the bottom left, as the red Protoss player, it's Huck.
I think what I'm going to start doing is trying to own these and do like a liar thing. Like we always like royal blue. I'll be like, it's the ready to play yellow Zerg player.
Yeah. Well, another PVZ. What do we have left over actually in the brackets in general? So Protoss or
it's pretty much. I feel like it's gonna be Protoss. I mean, State and Believe is obviously gonna be a Protoss, and Guitar Cheese and Puck could go either way. But Guitar Cheese has a lot of Protoss to get through to get to the finals.
Guitar Cheese is what is he?
Oh, actually, Guitar Cheese might be Protoss. I thought he was Zerg.
I thought he was Zerg too.
I know he played random for a very long time, actually.
But the point is,
no,
Terrans
Zerg, yeah.
are officially dead.
Yeah, rip. Well, it's not so much that they're dead, is that they got through the other qualifiers.
Ah, yes.
I think like three slots have gone to Terrans so far, something like that. So not so rest in peace, but more like safe in the shuttle, escaping velocity.
Ah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh God, no! Ban this person.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Got it handled. All right, so Huck's gonna go for some cheekiness here. This is not a forge, guys. There's no forge at home. He didn't go to the Gateway Forge and do a workaround build. He's trying to bait out cats, and he's done this in a really clever way. When players put the pylon right next to the hatchery, it's such an obvious fake. He's really hoping cats would overreact, and cats did. He pulled the drones. He was ready to pull, and Huck may lose 25 minerals by canceling the pylon. Cats loses probably closer to 200 by not mining.
Yeah. But, you know, he's going for a 3 extra 4 pool, though, so I feel like that's made up just in the build that he chose. Like, yeah, I got away with it.
I love that Scarlet assumed you banned her, by the way. Like...
Well, I did say that ban was incoming.
Oh, okay, well, never mind.
Oh, God damn it.
Takes me to suspense. Well, I guess for Cats' sake, I mean, like, it's not devastating for a loss like that.
Word for being late? Pregnant.
I told you, chat has got our back. Like, they're the best. Sometimes. But, the thing for the Huck that I was going to go on about there was, he didn't devastate Cats. Cats didn't get screwed by this opening. But he kind of, like, you get the slight upper hand, and I kind of feel like with players that know each other this well, there's going to be kind of a small on-tilt factor to definitely consider. Where Kaz is just like, fuck, I can't believe I fell for that. Like, and then he starts like second-guessing a lot of stuff for the follow-up.
Yeah, maybe. Well, speaking of, I guess, guessing wrong, or Huck's going for a 4-gate, but not off of 2 bases like we're used to seeing a reaction to, but off of just 1 base. Like,
yeah,
who does this anymore?
Well, I mean, one of the important factors, of course, is the chronos that have been going into the Cybercore while this is going on. You can 4-gate one way or the other, but it's the timing you hit that matters the most. And Huck is he's kind of lings around, so it could be a little bit annoying. He's got a backdoor setup too, so he might be able to warp in a couple of zealots and going through the backside. But it's not about the stalker, which does live. It's about getting a lot of zealots down to contest these lings. CatZ does have a spine on the way. Maybe he's not totally boned by this, but Huck actually chooses not to go for the super duper all in, and is actually going to expand slightly behind it.
That's so weird.
It's a very backwards way of doing it.
Yes, it is. The problem with that is that it's so easy to scout. I guess it depends on the map.
I mean,
if Novolord's right there, you'll see no Nexus and be like, well, I guess I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, only 2 gateways in the wall is not that big of a tell. But that's a lot of lings, and through this attack, Huck, if he chooses to actually macro out of this straight up in transition, he's already done quite a bit of damage just by keeping CatZ's drone count low, by forcing him to build a lot of lings and not actually build any drones.
Technically, yeah, that's true. I mean, a regular old 4-gate, you used to think that this was like the end-all be-all to the matchup back in like 2010. And then then it kind of died off. People use it every so often. I remember the first time we saw someone 3-hatch before a pool and hold it off was Nesty. You can win against a 4-gate. Like a very dedicated 4-gate on one base with a 3-hatch for a pool.
Huck still hasn't lost a unit yet, by the way. I'm sure by saying that this jinxes it, but he's done a great job with his control so far. And these Lings go for the full surround, and they're only just barely starting to scratch the surface of the Stalkers. The Zealots are doing some pretty good damage as well, but the pressure, I mean, the pressure is still going to be on. He doesn't clean up the army entirely. Huck did find a sweet spot where he could be out of range of both Spine Crawlers and attack the hatchery.
This is still so dedicated.
Oh, I mean,
Huck might have gotten a Nexus. Well, that's annoying, sure, but the Militia Corps, I don't know.
Well, look at this. There's nothing to stop him.
Well, the Queen's about to pop out now. He just needs more Lings. And the Spine Crawlers need to help out. Okay, that was the worst thing, I think, is that he got the Spine Crawlers, but so often they never got any damage done. The Lings kept fighting out of position of them. The Militia Corps is going to go down unless that Queen starts to die. Ooh, he's going to target down the hatchery. He's going to get it.
Indecisively targeting down the hatchery. Last shot for the Stalker gets it. Nicely done. But the question is, was that worth everything he invested into this? He didn't start probing until just recently. He lost the Mothership Core, so there's no Photon Overcharge if CatZ decides to counterattack. And CatZ does have that third base he can just transfer to.
Yeah, I don't think that was enough. But we don't usually see the situation, so that's really hard to say.
I like this choice.
Huck has to know it's 3-base, right? Because he saw the timing on the pool. Yeah, he knows.
I really like that he's going through the back doors. Huck will probably not be expecting this, and he's got the sentries up here. The rocks are still up, not knocked down. He's busy warping on the other side of the map, and this, okay, maybe trades a base, so that'll be really nice, but not if it compromises his entire base.
This gets really weird. I don't know.
This has to be a big red flag for Huck. He's got to be wondering, like, why is there no response from CatZ? Where are your units? Probe comes to check. Probe scouts the debris going down. And now he's got to get in there as quick as he can. Force fields will buy him time.
Force fields.
Yeah.
This isn't even a problem.
Oh!
Oh, well, hey, that's not a one force field wall off. The more you know.
Spines, even if these were rooted, wouldn't stop the Zealots here. He's got to get that third one up, too.
Yeah, this one should, like, if it was microed, you know, if it wasn't just instantly dying. A couple of Lings are to come out and save the second Spine Crawler, so I guess it will just barely be enough. And of course, it's Moonlight Madness, so you know where the pylon's been warping in from. He just needs to go find it. But the damage was not done on the side of the map, but I just don't... Okay, well, maybe spoke too soon?
Defending two fronts is going to be kind of difficult. The Photon Overcharge still isn't available yet. One of the gateways getting incredibly low. CatZ going to back off. Meanwhile, he starts working the rocks on the other side, but it's just a little too strong.
Yeah.
Hatchery's still standing, and CatZ, in fairness, is actually defending this fairly well. I mean, these engagement with Lings are the worst engagements he could possibly take. The units just are so susceptible to Zealots, but he's still doing a great job maximizing their use.
Yeah, he's holding on. I guess Huck's going to continue warping in. He sees an opportunity here. Even with the Lings running back home, if he finds a good position, which he doesn't, that's a little unfortunate, he still takes a fairly good trade.
But Huck, you know, he's allowed CatZ to drone a little bit behind this too while this was going on. So it's not like this is pure Lings and nothing else. More drones not coming out too. So if CatZ can get that economy up, he'll eventually take a third, and that's where he starts jumping ahead. But I really like Huck's economy behind this. 2-base Protoss is really strong.
Yeah, and it is still 2-base Protoss for a while longer. Gets a full surround on the sentries, and we'll kill one. Did that one not go down? No, one did go down. But the rest are saved. They've used most of the force energy, though, and I honestly don't know. Like, Huck is better because it's 2-base versus 2-base, and if we just go by the old rule of Zerg has to be up 1 base, then technically Huck's good to go. Especially since his base is fully saturated. He's also just totally secure in his 3 bases.
But it is it's just gateway tech. I mean,
yeah,
no robots, no
right?
council, like, yeah.
Protoss depend on tech more than anything else to win a game usually, but I think that because CatZ also isn't on really good tech, so if it was just simply like Zealots warping in, I think Huck would win, which seemed to be his plan right here.
Yeah. I really love the way he's been abusing the pylon too, if you notice this, but one of the other things too is with the creep tumor finally here, CatZ has vision on what's going on.
Yeah, he can see the warp-ins, he still doesn't take out the pylon.
No, of course not, but I mean, it's better than getting caught off guard.
What is this? What is this infestation pit?
I don't know that you can really make use of swarm hosts here. I mean, I can see some locations where you could harass them in, and I feel like fungal growths and infestors would be too much of an investment this early. So I'm guessing Hive.
Don't you like? There was someone else that we cast in some qualifier who did this and barely made it work.
But the problem is, there's no army supply for CatZ. HuK doesn't have a massive army, but he can't. The point is, CatZ can't fight what little there is.
I'm talking about a game on Deadwing. I think it was an American. It might have been a Korean, honestly. But they did go for pathogen glands and infestors, and they barely bought enough time to also get upgrades for the Lings. It made it look like almost like a normal game after a very odd opener. But okay, HuK's not giving him the time to do any of that, so it doesn't even matter. This is all null. And HuK's looking to just win the game, because I think if he kills a hatchery and secures his own third base, like there's no way HuK or CatZ comes back into it. Yeah,
he's been struggling already enough as is. I really like, by the way, that HuK chose to take this base too. Like, he knew the bottom one was compromised and scouted, so that's kind of a cool, just a small little thing. It is going to be Swarm Host, or was going to be Swarm Host, but it's kind of like too little, too late.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, the default response of CatZ first and foremost, and also a lot of Zergs, and it was something weird back in the day. Back when the card of the Swarm initially came out. If you messed up with your first cheese, you just kept making Swarm Host and you tried to win. If you messed up at any point in the game, maybe you go to Swarm Host, you could turtle, and maybe you could win. That was kind of like, I think, the answer to a lot of things, but not really that unit anymore. They're not really...
Yeah.
What was so good about them back before was that they could be defensive and they could be offensive, and they were free units, right? So doing both was amazing. Now, they're definitely more harassment units. Like, try and defend with them, you defend once really nicely, but if they just run away and come back, you have to wait a full minute.
Yeah, it's funny, too. Like, I decided while I was scumbagging around to try my my old 2-base Nidus build with Swarm Host, see if the new ones work.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Does not work at all. You just don't have that potency in the slightest, the same way you used to.
I remember that so much.
So, okay, so the actual... So the Swarm Hosts, I mean, they can do a lot of damage. The Locusts can certainly take on a portion of this army. I just feel like there's not enough of them. CatZ choosing to try and play super defensive with what he has is bold. He doesn't have a lot of Hydras. He doesn't have a lot of Lings, and the Queens don't have enough Transfuses to hold on. But the Swarm Hosts are guaranteed to almost guaranteed to kill this Nexus.
I think they are. 6 Nexus can...
Oh, he goes too soon, though.
Swarm
he goes too soon. Oh, he does it too soon.
Oh, well, that messed up. Okay, well, that's bad. That's pretty bad. I didn't realize they got a Dark Shrine, or I kind of remember that, but he runs in there first. I think he could just take it on the army as is, but the DTs are doing a lot of damage to the main and the natural. Overseers weren't prepared. Spore Crawlers weren't prepared. Kills the third as well. He warped at nothing but freaking DTs. Dang.
I mean, this worked really well. The Spine Crawlers were supposed to buy CatZ all the time in the world.
Nope. And the Swarm Hosts still aren't doing anything.
I gotta be honest, I'm impressed with how well CatZ has held on to this point. Like, I know that kind of sounds condescending, like, oh, I'm surprised the Barbarians haven't died yet, but still, this was, like, really well played out for defense. HuK still pushes in, and although it looks a little bit one-sided, look at the health of these units. Look at the health of the important units, like the Mothership Corps, the Sentries. Like, CatZ has barely lost the defense here, and the Swarm Hosts, well, they're gonna kill a Nexus on the other side of the map while this is all going on.
Yeah, that's what they wanted to do in the first place, but that's still not enough.
If the DTs didn't clear out the main and kill all the drones, CatZ would have actually had a good fighting chance in this game.
He might have. Yeah.
But congratulations to HuK. He'll take game number 1.
That was a very, very hard game to call, but to HuK's credit, that is usually what CatZ does